Live from downtown Bakersfield, 23 ABC News at 11 starts now.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for 23 ABC News at 11. I'm Bayan Wang. We begin with new developments in the novel coronavirus emergency. There has been another death in Washington state, and we're learning among those now self-quarantined is Texas Senator Ted Cruz. ABC's Trevor Olt now with the latest.
The coronavirus death toll in the U.S. has risen to at least 22, at least 19 of them in Washington state, most associated with Life Care Center in Kirkland, one of 3 nursing homes in the state now dealing with the virus. 2 deaths now reported in Florida and another in California.
The state of California has over 10,000, in fact, 10,257 individuals that we are monitoring.
The governors of at least 9 states declaring states of emergency. As they deal with the growing crisis, states are turning to the federal government for help, many critical of the response.
The CDC, I believe, was slow to begin with. They were not ready for this. They should have been ready for this.
Has the president been perfect in his communication? I would say he hasn't communicated the way I would and the way I might like him to. But I think the rest of the team has been doing a pretty good job.
The president, though, tweeting Sunday, "We have a perfectly coordinated and fine-tuned plan at the White House for our attack on the coronavirus." Off the coast of California, passengers on the Grand Princess cruise ship growing frustrated. At least 21 people on board testing positive for COVID-19.
I kind of feel like we're floating around the drain, just waiting here to get the virus.
Plans are now underway to evacuate more than 2,400 passengers Monday at the Port of Oakland. The sickest will be transported to hospitals. Others will be taken to military bases for a mandatory 14-day quarantine, and foreigners will be repatriated to their home country. The U.S. State Department now advising Americans not to travel by cruise ship, especially so for people with underlying health conditions and the elderly. Overseas, Italy taking drastic measures. 16 million people now on lockdown, with more than 7,000 infected and at least 366 deaths, the most outside China. Wedding and funerals postponed, ski resorts, gyms and malls all closed, and visitors banned from the Vatican Museum. Trevor Ault, ABC News, New York.
And a major tennis tournament is canceled due to coronavirus concerns. The BNP Paribas Open attracts big names to the Indian Wells Tennis Garden. Last year, it also attracted a record crowd, but no one's going to the tournament this year. Organizers say holding a large event with lots of people in close contact isn't worth the risk. Ticket holders can get refunds or credits for next year's tournaments. And now to local news. Leslie Chance, the former school principal found guilty of murder in the death of her husband Todd, is expected to be sentenced in court this Wednesday. Chance was scheduled to be in court on Monday of last week, but was hospitalized. According to her attorney, Tony Lidgett, she was suffering from pneumonia. Chance has been found guilty of premeditated murder in the death of her husband Todd back in 2013. She faces a maximum sentence of 50 years to life in prison. Lidgett said there will be a hearing for a new trial in April. 2 H&R Block stores in Bakersfield have been burglarized, according to Bakersfield police. Shortly after 4 this morning, the first H&R Block off of Stockdale Highway had its glass door shattered. BPD says it appears that a desk was scattered through. At this time, police is still investigating if there was anything stolen. The second burglary occurred on March 5th at the H&R Block located in the 900 block of Chester Avenue. Officials say 2 glass doors were damaged, but it doesn't appear anyone entered the business. If you have any information, call BPD at 327-7111. Now to a traffic alert. Driving east through downtown is about to get easier starting next week. As you know, all lanes of 23rd Street haven't been open in months as contractors have been working on the 24th Street Improvement Project. But in a few days, all lanes are expected to reopen for drivers. City officials say it's scheduled to reopen tomorrow. And next week, traffic control is scheduled on Real Road for workers to place a concrete deck for a new bridge crossing. The traffic control is scheduled for Thursday and Friday next week between the hours of 8:30 a.m. and 3 p.m. Drivers should expect delays in the area and consider alternate routes during those days. This construction is part of the Centennial Corridor Mainline project. The Public Works Department of Kern County recently conducted a traffic survey in northwest Bakersfield. Officials determined changing speed limits along some streets in that area is necessary. Now the Board of Supervisors added the proposal to their agenda. 23 ABC's Leslie Gooden spoke with a resident on Callaway Drive that doesn't want the speed limit to increase near him. She joins us live in studio now. Leslie.
Yes, good evening. The Board of Supervisors are considering to increase the speed limit in 4 areas of Bakersfield. 3 of them are suggested to increase by 5 miles per hour. There is one speed limit increase proposal for 45 to 55 miles per hour that would take place off of Callaway Drive and Brimhall Drive. That has one family asking the Board of Supervisors to reconsider. And just this past February, an alleged drunk driver ran into the garage, causing over $50,000 in damage.
So I think increasing the speed is only going to increase more problems.
The Bells live right off of Callaway Drive in northwest Bakersfield and is one of the streets that is being considered to receive a speed limit increase from 45 miles per hour to 55 miles per hour, which the Bells say this would be a mistake and a safety concern.
I think that people are already driving 55 miles an hour, and we've had several accidents right next to our house. Our fence has been hit. Somebody's been through our front yard. Now they've been through our garage. Our neighbors behind us have had people wreck in front of their house, I think 7 or 8 times.
Stacy Bell says her family has lived in this house for 28 years when Callaway was just a quiet road, and her husband built this garage as a man cave by hand to hold his limited edition cars, which included 2 Camaros that were damaged on February 9th around 4 p.m. after an alleged drunk driver crashed into their garage doing 80 miles per hour, causing over $50,000 in damages.
And quite typically on the weekends, he could be working out here, and that could have been catastrophic. Our neighbors behind us, they work out in their yard all the time, so during the day.
The Bells say they were not aware of the agenda item for the Board of Supervisors being considered this week to increase the speed limit in this pocket area. Stacy says 45 miles per hour is fast enough if people actually followed the speed limit.
I would like to see it monitored a little bit more by our law enforcement. I think that would be a deterrent and maybe slowing some people down.
The second proposed speed limit increase is just a few blocks away over at the intersection of Brim Hall and Jenkins Road. The county is looking to increase the speed limit by 5 miles per hour from 40 to 50. And the same for Union Avenue to the south of Fairview Road and 200 feet north of South Chester Avenue, which would increase from 45 miles per hour to 50 miles per hour. And the last proposed change would be for Hughes Lane between Terrace Way and Brundage Lane, with a speed limit increase from 30 to 35 miles per hour.
According to the Board of Supervisors agenda, a new survey must be conducted every 5 years of the previous survey. And in this case, the last one is due to expire soon. And these proposals will appear on the agenda slated for March 10th, this Tuesday. So be sure to look out for that. For now, in studio, Leslie Gooden, 23 ABC News, connecting you.
And after a week of dry weather over the weekend, we saw a lot more cloud cover. We're seeing still cloudy conditions out there. You can take a look on the radar. Pretty much cloud cover covering most of the valley. Temperature-wise, though, we're at 54 right now, which isn't too bad. We're going to stay pretty much in those seasonal and stable conditions for tomorrow as well, but things will change a lot on Tuesday afternoon. But temperature-wise, again, 39 in Tehachapi, 48 in Rosamond, 29 in Fraser Park, and 53 in Taft. Temperature change-wise, we're seeing a little bit warm up. 6 degrees warmer in California City, 3 degrees warmer in McFarland and Buttonwillow. For tomorrow, you will have good air quality with an AQI of 46. The storm system brought in some fresh air with it. But taking a look at the next 3 days, Tuesday, you see that 80% chance of rain. We will have a high of 69, a low of 49. But the main concern is those chances for rain on Tuesday afternoon until Wednesday morning. We're going to be monitoring that as what that means for your work week. But I have your 7-day forecast coming up.
Their costumes are always unique, flamboyant, and creative. Anime fans got together for the H&R Comic Con right here in Bakersfield. The family-friendly event welcomed both kids and adults, some who arrived as Spider-Man and Wonder Woman. The event ended just a few hours ago. It was held at the Fraternal Order of Eagles building on 17th Street. And here's what some vendors had to say.
The people enjoy these smaller shows because in most of the places we go to up and down Central Valley, they've never had a comic show or a collectible show. So they're really grateful that people show up in their town.
What takes place is cosplays, different vendors from all over, and more than anything, just family fun, people coming down and looking for certain collectibles. I mean, there's an array of whatever they're looking for, from comic books to toys.
And that is going to do it for cosplay there. Kern County and Bakersfield Fire Departments are teaming up to hold a book drive to benefit the Porterville Library in honor of fallen Porterville Fire Department Captain Ramon Figueroa and firefighter Patrick Jones. 23 ABC is teaming up with firefighters from Station 65 all next week to collect donations. You can drop off books at 10,051 Meacham Road or at any city or county station. The drive kicks off tomorrow and lasts through Friday. This drive is a chance to replace books lost in the library fire where Figueroa and Jones died on February 18th. Last week, the Kern County and Bakersfield Fire Departments hosted a fundraiser in honor of the firefighters. They were able to raise almost $15,000 to benefit the families of Figueroa and Jones. Get your business cards and resumes ready. The Job Fest will be in Bakersfield on Wednesday. The event will be located in the Mechanics Bank Arena starting at 9 a.m. There will be employers from a variety of companies at the event.